to the knees. I don't want to lean across them. So my comfort zone is then to come to the hand, and then I have my stool up here, so I come to the hand, my hand follows up here, and then I tell them just take a deep breath for me. And I'm here saying hello to them. I want to get them ready for the massage. I'm going to get their hair out of the way. That's one of the very first things that I'll do. If you start off doing the scalp, you are not shampooing the scalp. You are not scratching the scalp. You are moving the scalp, as much of the scalp as you can. The important part is right here down the center of the scalp. There's like little sutures. It's where the scalp comes together. So you want to definitely take your thumb and just do circle friction right in here. It's one of the most important parts you'll hit, because our right brain and our left brain are different, and we want them to kind of start working together for us. So I'm coming underneath, I'm cradling her head just for a minute to let her know I'm here. I hope you're comfortable. My fingers are on the occipital ridge, which is this scalp right here. You can feel where the skull ends. That's the occipital ridge. The occiput is the hole right in the middle. It's a magic spot. It's right there. You open, open, open that. If you can empty that, people with insomnia will go to sleep. You empty that in the temples. So I'm cradling her head. If I can lift her chin up, which she's gonna fight me some, but they will, so I just then start holding it, and my fingers are kind of hooked around that occipital ridge. Now I just invite her to take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath, relax your jaw and tongue. And then it's time to get started. I'm gonna, I'm in this scalp area, getting more of the back of the head. Then on each side, and I'll do both sides for you, right here I start at the occiput. And I say circle to the right, go up and down, circle to the left, but you're feeling for muscles. That doesn't mean sit here and go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That doesn't, when I say these things, everything I say is telling you to feel what your client needs. Take that responsibility. Feel in here what's going on. So I'm circling to the right, to the left. I'm feeling knot right in here. Knots all over. I'm working with her. Then I'm bringing it all the way up into this jaw area and just kind of circling to the right and the left. You will not use lotion until you go into the T-stroke. So now I've got her back to the center. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to kind of feel what's happening. Circle to the right, go up and down, circle to the left, go up and down, circle to the right. And feel. And maybe you're not going to circle. You may find something that you need to circle cross fingertip friction. You may find, and you'll just, what comes natural, the FT, fingertip, all that will come natural if you're feeling for the muscles. So then I have finished with the scalp. My next thing to do is go into and do the face. No lotion at all. I want to say hello to where I'm going to work. So hello, it's 3 sections, to the forehead, to the zygomatic arch and the cheekbones, and come in here and saying hello to the jaw and up into here. Now with no lotion, I'm going to take and I'm going to just do an effleurage. Can you not see that I'm not depicting any muscle up. I'm effleuraging down into that temple. My hands are not covering her ears. Down into that temple and into the table. Some people will have real large foreheads and you will have to do it in 3 sections with the fingertips. Some of you will like fingertips better. Some will have very small foreheads and you will just do 1 stroke. So I've cleared the forehead. Now I'm going to come in and gentle, 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 come up to this little triangle. It's a little magic spot kind of. And I'm going to just do this. With people that have very bad sinus problems, I'll take 2 fingers and run it all the way up. You get a stretch in here, and it really helps to clear sinuses. Light pinchment then on both eyebrows at the same time, being very careful not to pull it up so that their eyes open or get too in here so that they'll start blinking their eyes. And I'm clearing this temple now. Circle fingertip friction, clearing the temple, coming down all the way to the table. Clearing this, coming down. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to find the ala. It's the nose bone where you see this on the skeleton. In that area, I'm just barely touching. Some people will prefer different fingers. All of that, this is just the fingers I use. At this point, you've seen how they stop snoring and everything. Well, that's the nasal, and you open it up. Do not touch their eyes again. Come across the top part of the zygomatic cheekbone. Come down all the way. The more you complete a stroke, the better. Doing this is not near like coming all the way down and completing that stroke. Then you come to the bottom part, find your little area. That's what I do, is find where I want to be. You're not in their nose, not at all. And then I'm just stretching, and I'm bringing it down again below the ears all the way, saying I'm finishing a stroke. I'm never doing one particular thing. Then I'm going to do circle fingertip friction on the jaw. So I'm doing circle fingertip friction here. You'll feel lots of little bumps along that jaw. You'll feel all kinds of stuff. Those are what you want to concentrate on and try and clear out. And as I come into this jaw, I had all of y'all open the jaw several times. So for practice and learning the routine, if I hook in here and then I say, Zell, just slowly open your jaw. You'll feel where you should be working. You'll feel the tight spots. Relax it. And it will come all the way up here into the temple. So you want to circle fingertip friction this entire jaw and relax it all the way up into here. You're working with the buccinator and the masseter, and not to mention all kinds of other muscles that you're going to learn. Right now, remember, you're learning like the very basic, simple stroke. So now I've said hello and goodbye to the face. I've finished that. Now I'm going to apply lotion. So you apply the lotion. A lot of times this would be real cold turkey to me, to just go wah on her. So a lot of times I like to be at one place. It's called a T-stroke, so it's here and across, but I kind of have this feeling about why all of a sudden cold lotion right in here. So a lot of times I'll be here, they feel the lotion happen, and you can see how I very gently came across. The T-stroke means I'm coming around the shoulders. I'm finding C7, which is the largest cervical vertebrae, the very last cervical vertebrae right here. I find C7, pull the lotion, and I scoop all the way up into that occiput. I do another one. Some people, I like to do it this way on them. Body types are different. You never can go under the sheet. It's against the law. But some people, and I like to stand up. I feel like with me, I have more control when I stand and then sit here. So I'm doing about 2 or 3 of these T-strokes. And then I'm going to start into the neck routine. So with the neck routine, you can take 2 thumbs here at C7 and push down, walk it kind of. Clear C7. After I have done that, I'm going to bring my hands around, and my fingers are going to be like this in that lamina groove, pulling it up to the occiput. I'm going to do a few of those just to get the oxygen going, to get blood. It helps with headaches. So you can see how I kind of push up. I'm in the groove. I am not on the spine at all. You'll fall into this little valley. You go with that valley all the way up into this occiput. So I've done a few of those. Now I'm going to pick her head up, and again, I'm going to start with this neck routine where you felt all that stuff coming up and down, working along here, seeing what's happening. Into that jaw, coming around here. And I'm coming up into that groove, into that groove. Now I want to swing myself over here some. Are you comfortable? Is your neck stiff? Does it hurt?
It's a little sore.
Okay, so I could feel a little stiffness in there. And you know, we're not doing a lateral flexion roll here on this rotation, you know. So I like to just go here, I'm done. There it is. Oh, didn't that feel good? To me, it doesn't. It's like, let's say goodbye to the body and come back in. Let's come in here and say goodbye. Let's stretch this out. Come back up into that occipital area, following the groove. And I'm going to just cradle her head again. I want to make her feel secure. Be careful with it not covering the ear. Be careful how you cradle it. And different body types make it really difficult at times. With her and her neck being really stiff, I can't help that my hand's going to be at the bottom of her ear. I would rather take care of her neck than really worry about the earlobe. So now I'm going to come over here and do the very same thing. A couple of ironing, coming down, around, coming up into that groove, up to the occiput. Nice little pull. Down, around, up for a second. And you're not going to be doing this exactly how I am. You're going to be feeling what you feel and working with it. So I'm kind of lifting that. Now I'm kind of doing just in that groove. I'm walking up each vertebrae, kind of feeling the tightness of it. Just kind of, you know, I'm only maybe using one finger, two fingers. But you can see in here how you just kind of baby that. See how you can see where I push up with her chin? I'm pushing, I'm in that valley though. I'm in that groove. You are never on the spine. You're in the groove. And then I like to come in and finish off before I go to the rest of the body with a little traction. I grab the whole occiput and I lean back. I'm not going, so that my shoulders are up around my neck. You don't want that. They'll feel the transition of the energy and everything. So I'm kind of just hooked in and I'm just kind of leaning back. As you sit in this chair, if you start putting your feet up and stuff, you will end up with low back trouble. You always want your feet flat on the ground when you're doing this. When you roll the chair, get the foot flat. When you roll the chair, foot flat. So now I'm going to start into the pecs, and I'm going to do the pecs, the right arm, and then continue on. So I'm going to just get my stool out of the way. A lot of times I think it's a good idea just to get it, especially when we're busy and in here, get it fingertip friction, effleurage, circle fingertip, just work it, feel the muscle. Don't get in your head, I need to do a fingertip friction, you want to think there's a valley in here and I want to find these muscles and work them. Then you come around that deltoid, and now I am basically going into the bow stance where you shoot the arrow, the bow stance. And I'm going to apply the lotion to the entire arm. I'm saying again, what did I say? We say hello to the area we're going to work. We also say goodbye to it. So I'm in the bow stance, and it's a dance. I'm going to lean forward and come back. I'm going to lean forward, come up, and come back. Lean forward, come up, come back. Now I'm going to be working proximal to distal. Proximal is here, distal is obviously here. In this situation, proximal to distal, proximal to distal. Always the closest to the body is going to be the proximal, the furthest away. I never say always on anything. I can think of a couple situations. So now I'm going to do a petrissage. I'm going to petrissage that deltoid. I'm going to petrissage her arm. You're going to have people like this, that she would just be out here, and I don't want to be straddling her. So if she's just going to, and you'll have those that'll be just, rigid, rigid, rigid. This is where you start finessing your art, guys. This is where you really start going, what does she need? What is she telling me? Is she tense? Is she really relaxed? This would be the abdomen. Some people want it over the sheet. Some people don't. I'll show you how to drape it, because this one would be just a good demo to drape. If you will please hold this for me. and protect yourself with it. We're filming. So I would pull the sheet down out of the way, or the blanket, sorry, and now I'm gonna pull the sheet. Do you see how everything is protected? And then she may wanna hold herself, she may not. I can take this, hold the bottom sheet, tuck it in. Hold the bottom sheet, tuck it in. With the abdomen, you are always gonna go clockwise. The left side right in here is where it goes into the rectum. So this is the eliminating point. John Wayne died basically of a matter of poo-poo. He also had some other problems, and I think there was about 45 pounds of fecal matter right in here stuck on him. And people have no idea, and we will totally get into the colon abdominal massage later. Breathing and everything else. I'm doing this for the routine, but this is something that we're going to take and pick apart separately. So I start off just doing what they call the sun and the moon. And you know, it's called the sun and the moon for, I guess, because here we're halfway like a moon. Here we're wide open like a sun. You don't draping, so we're just going to take the blanket, get it out of the way. The sheet, if you pick it up right here, you're already going to short sheet yourself. So you want to pick it up like right around here, because the edge of the sheet is what you want to be dealing with. If I have the edge of the sheet from here to the hip and nothing else, I already know no matter what, I've got a good drape. You don't ever cross over and do this kind of stuff. So I'm going to lift here. Do you see I'm not crossing? I come underneath. I have to get below the knee. I have to go all the way to the hip with this. So I get this, and then I pull it up to here. If it doesn't seem high enough, and hers is pretty good, but you take and don't be little like, that tickles, and that's like, what are you doing? You hold this sheet so that you've got it, you roll it up some, and then again, you're tucking here. If a client ever still, you'll feel this intuitively. You know when somebody's coming on to you or not, or come on. This is the real world, you know that in the 3rd grade. So don't anybody tell me you don't get it now. So if you ever feel awkward, or they are feeling awkward is more it, is what's happening, because they're like, my first massage. You can always take both of these ends and you can twist them a little bit so that it's tight around that leg, and you can tell them if you feel comfortable, you can hold this. Sometimes they start off and in no time at all, they're like, oh. She's pure intent right there. So now I'm back at the bottom. I'm here at the foot. I'm going to start up here, but I'm here. I'm standing. I'm going into the bow stand. I want to I don't want to just slap lotion ever on anyone. So I'm here kind of saying, can you feel me coming? Warm that lotion up just a little bit. Of course they can. So now I'm coming up here. I got to do a little Michael Jackson. Got lotion all over here, cream all over. That was my second. I'm saying hello to the area still, but I'm effleuraging off this foot too. Boy, if you start leaving that foot out, it screams. It does, I promise. This foot's gonna be screaming, touch me, oh please. Don't forget I'm alive. Coming in just a little bit more, so I have lots of lotion. Here is the trochanter, that big bone that we all feel that rotates right in here. That's the trochanter. It's like the big caveman bone. It's in jokes and stuff. So that's right there. I want to be sure and get that. So I effleurage. Now I work from proximal to distal. I can do the sun and the moon again and circle around. And then I can do an effleurage. And then I come and I can do medial petrissage. If you ever are uncomfortable, hold the sheet while you're doing this. I can petrissage right over this sheet. There's so many ways to do this where you're comfortable. So I can petrissage. Another trick is every time I effleurage up here, I can tuck this in again. It's right here. I'm not even making an extra move to do it. Petrissage, then effleurage. Now I'm going to petrissage the top. So we have medial, lateral, and center. petrissage, picking this up, feeling what's going on with it. Effleurage it out. And then you can light fist, and they call it ironing. You can do hand over hand in here, but almost everyone has just total, you know, it's connective tissue almost all the way. You can see the diagram, especially on the posterior model up there, where you can tell that that is just mainly connective tissue. And then I'm going to do a wave, which means I'm not doing this. Not at all, guys. You want to not pick the leg up, but you want to come up. You see my body doing this? I'm not killing my back. I'm not doing this to it. I'm killing my legs. You will be. Right in here, this is going to start burning on you, but this is the strength. This is your strength right here. So I'm coming down and picking it up. Well, Michael Jackson, if I need to, down and picking it up, down and picking it up. Coming up, down, picking it up. I'm going to effleurage. Then I'm going to effleurage this foot and this whole leg and come out and say goodbye. You see, sometimes even like right then, I notice my whole elbow kind of gets involved here. Not like I'm pushing down. It's like I can feel those fluids in my, just naturally I want to follow through. Do not lean your anterior front, superior part of the muscle, anterior superior rectus femoris against the table. You will throw your SI joint out in a heartbeat, not to mention all kinds of other things you can do with your hips. Don't get lazy on me. Stop, reposition yourself, stand for a minute, go, I think I'm gonna work around this knee for just a minute, do a little skin rolling. Okay, now I'm gonna try these legs again. So, I want to point out a couple of really important parts about the calf, if you will, the ankle. And you will learn an entire foot reflexology, you know, later. You're going to learn from the charts and stuff what reflexology is all about. So you have this anterior tibialis, this big bone. You know how everybody gets hit in the shin? Oh, it's killer. It's absolute killer. Right next to it, you have the muscle, the anterior tibialis. And then right in here, you're going to have a little groove and a little knot at the knee. Some are real prominent, some aren't at all. I mean, right then, this was so natural for me to come under here some. The knee needs work to come under here a little, not lifting the leg. But you can see how I'm working around this knee just with, because it told me to. So I'm coming along here. You want to get some circle fingertip friction in. You want to just get some palm effleurage. Get this and moving. There's so much going on. Again, now I come to the medial part of the calf, the gastrocnemius. It splits in two, and the soleus comes in the middle.